Hi, Cooking Daddy here. So I'm trying something a little bit different today. One of the things I try to get across is I'm not an expert. I'm not a chef. I'm not even a cook. I am Cooking Dada. So stay-at-home dad. I experiment with a lot of different things. One of the things that I have always wanted to do more of that I've always stayed away from are oysters, right? Oysterus shellitis. That's not the Latin. Alexa, what's the Latin for oyster?
Sorry, I don't speak Latin yet.
She doesn't know it either. Okay, we're gonna call them Oysterus in the shellus cutis daddy, I hope notus. So it's funny because my wife has steered clear of oysters for ever. I love oysters. We go out, but they're super duper expensive. They're really expensive. I spent for half a dozen, I spent like 15 bucks. More than that, 18 bucks. It was a lot of money just the other night. And I was like, no way. So I got these, my local supermarket orders these anytime you want. And they're about 50 cents a piece. So anyway, at the restaurant, I was sitting there and I was eating them and they were awesome. And I asked my wife if she wanted one, and she said no, they're disgusting. And I said, well, you're on keto? And she said, yeah. And I said, well, I've heard, and actually this is true, I wasn't just BSing my wife. I said, I've heard oysters are higher in protein than beef. I think it's true, I don't know, I didn't research it, but I promise I actually read that somewhere online, so I don't know if it's true or not. But that's what I said to my wife, and immediately she was like, really? Oh, keto, oh, protein. So anyway, she ate one and she was like, wow, that's not bad, that's pretty good. So now I've talked my wife into oysters. She had one. So anyway, I thought instead of trying to do this when my wife is here, shuck oysters and get them set up and all that stuff, I would do it on my own. And if I cut my thumb off, she won't be here to laugh at me. So anyway, I'm gonna try to shuck these. I've researched it online and we're gonna see how it goes. I got a new shucking knife. I got a little ice tray. So we're gonna try it. First thing we need to do though is give these a good scrub. We wanna get all the old ocean off. So let's do that and then we'll go on to the daddy needs stitches phase. I hope not. Okay. Okay, so I have my sink set up here. I'm gonna put on my cold water and you can see I've got the oysters here. I do have a little drain stopper just to, they're not gonna go down the drain, but whatever. So I do have a dedicated brush. I got a dedicated scrubber brush and I really just wanna get in here, scrub them out, get all this grit off, because that's not such good eats, right, Alton? Right, and especially in this hinge right here. I wanna make sure I get in there. So when I put the shucking knife in there, I won't be shoving a bunch of sea stuff in there. So here's what it is, and it's still green, obviously, but when I first picked it up, it had sort of a gritty feel to it, and after a little bit of scrubbing, it definitely feels clean, it feels smooth. I got the majority of the grime off, and right in here especially on the hinge, I really want to get in there good. And I'm gonna call that one good. So I have 11 more to do, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. I've got, as you can see, I have my oysters cleaned. As I was going through and cleaning the oysters, one of them had a little piece of shell that broke off, and it was loose when I was scrubbing it, and it's sort of soft and slimy in there. I don't know if that hole goes all the way through. It is closed really tight, so I would bet that this is safe to eat. However, like for all of you oyster shucker eaters out there, you would probably look at this and go, don't be a wimp. However, when it comes to oysters, I don't want to get sick. I'm new enough at this. I'm going to discard this one, which is probably going to make my trash stink. But I'm going to get rid of this one. So I only have 11 oysters now, which will probably save me an hour out of this whole process. But anyway, I'm down to 11, but I did want to show this. It is a damaged oyster. I would probably say don't use damaged oysters. I mean, I don't know if this one is okay or not, but my understanding is if it's open or whatever, you probably shouldn't use it. All right. Also, this is my oyster tray. So I got this on Amazon. I sort of thought these existed. I was surprised at how hard this was to find though. So anyway, I found this on Amazon, and it's basically a tray, right? This part will be empty. I put this here. I'm gonna fill this with ice, and then I can put the oysters on here, and as the ice melts, it will drip down into the tray, keeping the oysters out of the ice bath. So again, I got this on Amazon. I think it was like 20 bucks, but I'm gonna give it a shot and see how it works. So anyway, it's bleeding time. It's shucking time. So here we go. Little prayer. Okay, so here we are. I've got my little towel here. I've got my ice tray set up to catch my oysters, and we'll see what happens here. I know they do sell a glove that you can wear. It's like a meat cutter glove that's supposed to protect your hand, but I don't know. I didn't want to spring for it, I guess. We'll see. All right, so here's what I learned watching this online. Okay, there is a top, which is the flat, bottom, which is round. There's a hinge here. I want to get the blade into the hinge, give it a pry, and then I'm going to come around this side, cut the abductor muscle. That's going to come off, and then I'm going to flip it. So theoretically, that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to hold this here and hopefully not need a trip to the hospital. So here we go. So it goes in, little lift, get it in, twist. Oh wow. And then just go along the top. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That is so easy. I cut the bottom, I give a little flip, and it's ready to eat. Holy cow. I just amazed myself. And then I put it over here. Wow. I mean, seriously. Okay, you know what? Maybe I got lucky. Maybe I got lucky. Cooking data gets lucky sometimes. Let's try it again. I tell you what, man, if these oysters all shuck. Ooh, see. Come on, baby. Oh. Oh my gosh, man. Man, I'm gonna be an oyster eating cooking data. That's all there is to it. Look at that. Boom. I was paying, holy cow, I was paying tons of cash for these things. Tons. You give them a little flip to make them pretty. Keeping that juice in there. And I'll put them on ice. I cannot believe what I just discovered. Guys, I tell you what, the internet is an amazing place. If it's on YouTube and you're interested, truly interested in learning how to do something, you have a passion for it, I'll tell you what, man, you can learn to do anything. Anything. Uh-oh. Just spoke a little too soon. But this is a big one. Let me make sure I have top up. Yep, that's the bottom. All right, so maybe I was being too optimistic. We'll see. And I think the danger here, too, is getting too confident, not paying attention to what you're doing. Man. All right, see, now cooking data's learning. There's definitely an art form to this. This guy, I'm gonna come in on this side. Don't want to cover it so I can see it. Oh, did it work? Goodness gracious. That one went, but that was like the equivalent of, this was like a CrossFit oyster. He's like, someday, some fool, some named Cooking Data, is gonna try to open me up. So, I'm gonna make life hard on him. I'm gonna work out. I'm gonna be a working out oyster. Guess what, working out oyster? Didn't work. All respect to that oyster though, man. He put up a fight. I know all you other oyster shuckers out there are probably like, holy cow, that one should not have taken that long. But it did. All right, anyway, I'm gonna go through all these. You can see, I guess, there are hard ones and there's easy ones. Once it's done, I'll come back to you. Okay, so on Cooking Dada's very first oyster video, we are almost done. I'm on my very last oyster, and look what I just found. A pearl. I found a pearl in my oyster. That's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay. All right, anyway, that is cool, man. Anyway, here we go. I'm gonna put them here for now. I'm getting that oyster, or that pearl. That is cool. All right, now check it out. Let me switch these out. Literally took me 5 minutes. I've been doing this for 5 minutes. I didn't want to shuck in front of everybody. I wouldn't lie to you, I promise. I promise. Now, here's what I'm saying. That is 11 oysters, not 12, but it wouldn't have mattered if there was 12 anyway, because this is so easy. Anybody who hasn't tried this, find that hinge, get into the hinge, right? Find the hinge, get into the hinge. The minute you get in, twist it, slide along the top, flip it, make it look pretty. I'm gonna show you a presentation over at the table. So listen, being a stay-at-home dad is not the easiest job in the world, right? There's a lot of stuff. Being a stay-at-home dad, you gotta get to learn to know and appreciate. Laundry, cleaning, taking care of the kids, doing all that stuff while your wife is out there earning the money. Sometimes it's not easy, but then there are times where in the due course of your duties as a stay-at-home dad, experimenting with food for your family, you get to have a really, really nice lunch. So if I bought this down in Tampa, I think last restaurant we were at for a dozen oysters, it was $27, $28, something like that. It was ridiculous. These oysters were 50 cents a piece. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Minus 1 will count 12. 12 times 50 is, oh, I hate math. 12 times 50, 12 times 10, 5. Holy cow. Anyway, it's cheap. It's cheap. Anyway, I'm an English guy, not a math guy. Anyway, I'm gonna take a little bit of my lemon and go over the top. Hey, listen, sometimes being a stay-at-home dad is not the easiest thing, but sometimes you get to make a dozen oysters and have a really, really good lunch. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sit down, break into these oysters or eat these oysters that I've already broken into. They look amazing, they look delicious. That's it, man. Get yourself some oysters, save yourself some money, have fun doing it, impress your family and friends just because you love your family, just because you love your friends. Bye, everybody.